In this video, we're going to keep talking about scene navigation. And in this one, we're going to talk about the zoom tool. So this is the action that makes things bigger or smaller. Gets you close. It feels closer, lets you inspect things or get a more of a bird's eye view of your scene. We do have a tool for it. It's over here. There is a shortcut key for it. So if this is the zoom tool. So again, that will determine what happens when you left click drag. So if I left click drag with that tool selected, you can see dragging up and down will zoom the world in and out. If I were to use one finger touch, because that tool is selected, if I were to touch and drag up and down, the world would zoom in and out like this. Okay. There is a shortcut key for it. It's the Z for zoom. So if I have the tape measure tool selected and I press the Z key, you'll notice the zoom tool is now selected. Again, this is navigation, so we do have kind of shortcut keys to get to there, or we have set up the mouse buttons so that no matter what tool you have selected, so I'm going to select the tape measure tool. If you were to roll, if you have a 3-button mouse and with a scroll wheel on it, if you were to roll in and out, you always zoom, no matter what tool is selected. If you are using a touch device, you can do a pinch gesture. So you do widespread, you do fingers kind of apart, and then you stretch in or out with your fingers, and that will zoom in and out on the scene. All right, so pretty easy. Finally, let's talk about what you're zooming on. Just like our other navigation tools, where you start your zoom can have an effect on how you zoom. And it's a really powerful tool to know. So if I were to start my zoom over here, so I'm going to use, I've got the tool selected, so I'm going to left click. It would also work if I were to roll or pinch, whatever you have, whatever you start your gesture on or your action on becomes the center of that zoom. So notice I'll click here and you'll notice we're zooming on that point. If I were to push this out and I come over to here and I zoom here, we zoom on that point. So it's a really handy way to quickly zoom in and out of a spot you want to look at right there. All right. Finally, let me recenter this guy. Get this in the middle. If I were to not pick on a point, so if I were to start my zoom or my pinch action or my roll action on the background, you'll notice we just zoom kind of straight down the center of your camera. So if I were to slide this guy off to the right and we zoom, you see we can kind of lose it because we're zooming in the center of the world. We're zooming around this point, which is pulling everything kind of off to the side in a way. So it is pretty good to always kind of start your zoom on what you want to look at. So if you want to zoom at that point, you can zoom on whatever point you want right there and take a look at it.